study class, in our social study class for today, let's look at social problems in Nigeria. Let's look at social problems in Nigeria. Nigeria as a nation have major problems surrounding them. What are some of these problems? We'll discuss some of these problems. But first, what do we mean by social problems or social issues? Now, what is social? When we understand the word social, it will help us to know what social problems are. Social means living in group. So if social means living in group, social problems has to do with problem that those who live in group face. Problem in which those who live as a group of people face. Social problems means problems that affect people living together as a group. It can be in relation to communities, cultural group, geographical area, and national group. It can be said to be societal issues or problems. So this problem can be in relation to a particular community, a particular cultural group, a geographical location or a geographical region, and the nation in general. So when we look at social, we see it as a group of people living together. What are the problems that face them? What are societal problems that is facing Nigeria? A lot of problems have eaten deep into our national system, our national value. I'm going to itemize them, but let me say briefly, we have major ones like rape has been very common these days, cultism, HIV, financial crime, and so many others I'm going to write on the on the whiteboard, and we see some of these social issues. So when you are asked what are social problems Nigeria is facing, just have in mind that they are telling you what is that particular problem that people that live as a group, as Nigerians, what is that, or what are those major problems that faces them? What are those major problems that have stand as obstacle on the way? The class is going to tell us some of these problems. And maybe in our subsequent classes, we'll see ways we can provide solution to this problem. But for our class today, we have explained what social problems are. Problems that face a particular community, a particular cultural group, a particular geographical region, a particular society, a particular nation, or we put it all together, societal issues or problems that faces our country, Nigeria. So let's go to the problems now. These are some of the issues, societal problems we face in Nigeria. And I termed it contemporary social problems in Nigeria. Contemporary social problems we face in Nigeria. I only itemized 10. The list goes on and on and on. 1. Cultism, kidnapping for money, financial crimes, election rigging, immodest dressing, prostitution, human trafficking, rape, certificate forgery, drug addiction, etc. So many, as many as you can think of. Go ahead, make research on them. You can find more than 30 problems we face in Nigeria. We have so many problems to talk about, but I'm just going to focus on these 10. Go look for other ones and think of ways they can be improved. Cultism in our environment, in our school system, primary, secondary, tertiary. We see these young individuals belonging to one group or the other. These groups are just formed for selfish reasons, either for robbery, for killing, for intimidation, for bullying, and for trying to belong to a group that make these young ones feel that they are highly placed. The purpose of this group most times is to intimidate others or carry out, perpetuate criminal activities. It has become a problem in the society because it has led to the death of many young ones. And so many adults out there uses these youth to carry out their selfish end. Cultism, a major problem. Kidnapping for money, it has become a common norm that in our environment, in our own cultural group, in our own villages, people come to kidnap others and ask for ransom, for money. These individuals are tortured, taken to an unknown destination, and the relatives and friends are asked to bring in money, millions of naira, to serve as a redemption for this person. And once the redemption price has been paid, the individual is released. It's a major problem we are facing as a country. Financial crimes. Of recent, we have the Yahoo boys, the 419, we have people who do cyber crime, and the rest of them. Financial crime. Those in politics embezzle public fund. They carry funds that are meant for the public to do projects that will benefit the nation in general, and they go off with it. Financial crime. It's a big problem. Those who are supposed to keep to this law, sometimes they become lawbreakers. And sometimes because they are beneficiary of those who involve in financial crimes, they pay them to hide their own secrets or to cover them up or not to go after them. Election rigging, stealing of ballot paper, ballot boxes, rigging of elections, scaring people, forcing people to vote to somebody you are not intending to. And elections are not done in due process, the way it is supposed to be. They rig election. Those who are supposed to win are not given the winning mandate, and those who are not supposed to win will win at the end of the day because such elections have been rigged. It's a major problem we face in Nigeria, rigging of election. From local governments to whichever level you want to think about, elections are rigged. Immodest dressing. People go naked on the streets in the name of getting dressed to fit into the system. They want to borrow other people's culture. They go naked. They don't even know situation or circumstances that those clothes are to be worn. Clothes that are supposed to be worn to a club are worn on the street. So where clothes that are supposed to be worn to a party, a dinner party, are worn on the street. Things they are supposed to wear at home, indoors, are worn outside. People go half naked out there. Prostitution. People use their body to look for money. And the excuse of there is no job, unemployment. People prostitute all around, selling their body all around for a token or for money. They look at this as a means of livelihood. It's a major problem which is supposed not to be. Human trafficking. People take Nigeria from here to other countries. We see cases of women who sponsor young girls to other countries in order for their own selfish gain. And when they get there, they ask them to pay them back the amount which they have spent on them, and they are forced into prostitution or things they are not supposed to do. Human trafficking. Rape. Rape have become the order of the day, that you are afraid to leave your little girl for your neighbor or even for your own relations. Children are raped. Underage children are raped, causing havoc, causing harm to these children. We have certificate forgery. People who never gone to school, or people who have gone to school halfway, people who are school dropouts, during election or during some other occasions where they are supposed to tender certificates that they have used for their educational career, they will just go out there, pay money to those in authority, and they forge certificate for them. At the end of the day, they have a certificate they never acquire, something they never worked for, and they are certificate holders. Then drug addiction. So many young people are into drugs. They take heroin, cocaine, Indian hemp. Think of all the drugs that make people to behave abnormal. They think it makes them to feel high. Most of these cultists are drug addicts. They take these drugs to make them feel high. They take these drugs to make them feel that they're on top of the world. Drug addiction have eaten deep into our system. We see so many of them, they go mad. So many of them behave the way they ought not to. So many of them don't have regards for others because they have taken hard drugs. So these are societal problems that Nigeria as a nation is facing. So let us try as much as possible. If we fall within any of these groups, let's get rid of them. Let's represent the nation well, and let's be good citizens to this country. Societal problems. So this is our class for today on our social study class. We'll still see other areas as it regards social problems. How can it be solved? What are other problems and what can be done? Thank you for being part of this class.